pasta and lobster. Hit me up on Tuesday like we store Bay, let me take you shopping. I told
Girl,
him
I'm a little busy.
He said, damn, I'm your city. But anyway, it's okay, hope you have a good day. I'ma see you by they 50. Then I told him you treat me so well. He said, can't shop for sale. Matter of fact, scratch that. I'ma see you with sketches, cause you fine as hell. And I told him, well, thank you, baby. Anything for my favorite lady. Well, I gotta go. They just let me know that I could pick up Mercedes. I got hoes in different areas. My white boy on my roster, he be feeding me pasta and lobster. He can me up on Tuesday like we store Bay, let me take you shopping. I told him, well,
Yes. A vegan TikToker is worse than that vegan teacher. Vegan Booty is often called the vegan teacher's daughter. She thinks walking your dog is animal abuse, has been on the news for
walking your dog is animal abuse.
calling horses slaves, and believes it's okay fighting butchers, service workers, and even children at their birthday party. The government has banned her from living in her hometown and her first
what? You get banned from living in your hometown? North Korea's vegan activist Ash Peterson complains about having G2G pass into WA denied.
The video will start to show you why. The event scene behind her is the Million Paws Walk, where families meet to walk their dogs together and help raise funds for animals in need.
Yo. It's at the top of the screen, bro. You had one more thing.
losing points. Although vegan foodie better than being in the wild, getting fucking lost. They're getting hair. Like, this is such a bad argument. If they're in the wild and their blood gets fucked up, they get an infection. They're fucking dead. They're dead. Like, they're 100% dying. Without a doubt, it's gonna be a slow, painful, gruesome death that they prolong for months just to die anyway. If they live with their owner, they're gonna have that infection, they're gonna take it to a fucking vet, they're gonna give them an antibiotic or whatever it is, and it'll be gone in 5 days. This awesome dad. That's what you do with your dog and cat, bruh. You ever see somebody take their, oh my god, the donkey or the pony has a fucking stupid outfit on. You ever see what motherfuckers dress their dogs up for Christmas, bro? You ever see what somebody fucking the outfits motherfuckers put on their dogs? And then quickly stop their heads. That shit sucks. And thankfully, police were there to intervene. After posting her video to TikTok, Tash again made national news, in which they'd interviewed the horse's owner.
Meg Freeman owns her pony business. She said she's been bombarded with abuse.
They got the easiest life in the world. They just walk around. They walk around and eat grass, but that's what they would do in the wild. They just had dishes provided for them. Also, like, there is ways, a lot of the ways you get your meat is fucked up, right? There are cows that are sitting in a closed area and they just eat for days until they're fucking fat and then they shoot. But if you got like animals, say you got like free-range chickens and they're living like a few years and they get to fucking walk around and do whatever the hell they want and they just get shot in the head one day, like, dude, they wouldn't be alive without you. And they're gonna die in the wild anyway around that time, so it's like, okay, then it's not that fucked up. Only 1 week later, Vegan Booty announced I'll be going to court for the 13th. Only 1 week later, Vegan Booty announced I'll be going to court on the 13th of May as I received a summons for a restraining order from the owner of ponies on all occasions. Those who dislike
Me and beach is really bad for the environment. Oh yeah. You know, like cow farms, as dumb as it seems, like that they just cow production in general is bad for the environment. Dude, those arguments you can have for veganism. Like those are lots of arguments you can have for veganism.
you're triggered
Bad to eat cows. More cows there are, the worse the climate is.
because I've made them realize that they're animal abusers. What I'm going through right now isn't a loss. It only means we're winning. I don't even think the vegan teacher is this crazy. This girl is making vegan teacher seem like an angel. At least the vegan teacher didn't have her own number plates, as this made Vegan Booty foolishly recognizable.
Meat and cheese smeared across her family's car. Vegan activist Tash Peterson.
Oh, yeah. Bologna? Walmart bologna smeared all over her family's car?
Crosses the line.
People recognized her car, then threw meatloads on her driveway, yet trolls weren't the only people who showed up at her house.
I've woken up.
Like a dead possum in her fucking car. They see her car, they like go and get roadkill and just fucking like plumb it right in the back seat.
Once again to the police knocking at my door.
So I've been issued with another bar notice.
Controversial vegan activist is banned from every pub in her state after becoming notorious for wild stunts where she screams at innocent families.
Anything that sells alcohol,
I'm not allowed into. A penalty of $10,000 applies if I break.
Well, listen, whenever they're like, yeah, I'm banned from Walmart, I'm banned from bitch, who the fuck's gonna stop you? Like, they know she's banned from anywhere that serves alcohol. Like, if she just pulls up at like 1 a.m. and it's like, hey, can I get a fucking Guinness? Like, they're gonna be like, oh, well, it's you, that vegan foodie. You're banned from every pub in the world. 7-Eleven, just a fucking random worker that has no idea who she is.
It's not a notice.
The ban had come after another disgusting protest.
They like team up, you know, they have to know her by name. Every
sweatshop? Is that an iPhone that you're holding that was made in a fucking sweatshop?
I don't really have a right to freedom of speech here in Australia. It's honestly pretty corrupt.
Like that ass. Regardless of how normal you think you are, you could be a vegan person that's always been vegan from the start of the day you're born. If you buy a product, if you don't live off the land from the day you're born to the day you die, and just plant fucking fruits and vegetables and just only eat that, and never step on a fucking bug by it, like you're killing something. You're killing something. You're facilitating the abuse of something by buying a product or the immoral, low pay of workers that are leaving fucking air.
God help them.
Everybody loved the chef's bold move, well, except the one person known as Vegan Booty. She showed up at the restaurant not just once but twice, blasting dying animal. Isn't she technically supporting animal abuse as well by just using money? Because even if she's buying products that this car's not going to work so badly because the officer, because it's not for expired tags, he doesn't realize that this is going to be a situation where his life flashes before his eyes. It's not finished. That's a no right there. At this point where a person is reaching for a firearm, I'm feeling like my firearm is like out of the holster of the person reaching for the firearm. You gotta be super careful in this type of situation, especially with the attitude at the beginning. After the firearm, the green card, the reaching card. Okay, don't ever reach for it. I'd like to remove that from you. I would not. I'll be your house. I would just give it out. Let's talk
Bro, if you're in chat, I want the witch room. I want witch room. I want witch room.
Yes, people will be. That's how we do it. This way is a no at best so far. The fire is still longer. This can go any direction with a lot more. Confrontation, you have a fire. I'm not going to play that game. I'm going to get your name, date of birth, and I'm going to continue my traffic stop. You understand that? That's fine. I recommend that. But you're not going to present me with an ID. Can you point to where your ID is? No, sir. You told me to play it. I understand. But you told me you were going to plead the fifth, which means you're not going to talk to me. If you're not going to talk, you can't tell me your name and your date of birth. So will you tell me your name and date of birth? Not until I get just good morning. Okay. Where did you want to? Can I get another cat? I'm going to get my chief down here for you. You're my resident. I will keep you there as long as I can. You need to remain there. Your hand is stay away from me. And I already told you, I will keep you there as long as I can. This is not exactly a comfortable position. You know perfectly well. I am a simple citizen without a mind. Guys, always do that. Just always make something up that isn't there. You're saying I'm being confrontational. Not being confrontational. Why do you think? Right. ISIS or you. Because you're not getting everything you want exactly when you want it. Yeah, because I gotta survive every contact, and I'm gonna get what I want with the fire on your phone. You know what? I'm sorry that it's the police that have proved themselves to be unreliable. Oh yeah? Have you ever met me before? Yes, I have. And where did you meet me? What? Willie hasn't done it. Okay, so you haven't met me, so therefore you have no idea whether I'm reliable or not. All I know is you're wearing a monkey suit. Monkey suit? I believe it's a police uniform in that. It's not the shot. He's not like a payroll, or he's not overly aggressive. He's being respectful. He's very matter of fact, quick responses, which sometimes shuts us down. It's just a little bit viral. So this can still go in that direction. I get where you're trying to do. You're not I'm just trying to test. Not that I don't trust you. I can't trust you because I don't know. Okay, I saw hundreds of possibly thousands of people every year, and I have to survive each of those contacts for a duration of 25 years. I understand that. I know how to do that, and I know how I want to do death if they do have to wear it. So that's what I go on. Remember the term which he says, you guys always. It's very critical as to stop aggressive. There are certain police officers who do the same category. So for a stop, it's not to stop the person who decides, hey, this is it, I'm done. You're not getting compliments. What is the compliment? I'm willing to put it on the tab, or even to allow you to put it on the tab. Or really, to allow you to work for my name. I can work with you on that a little bit. If I'm going to put it on your tab, I'm going to unload it. Okay. When you put your hands on your head, with your fingers crossed, so I can remove the cross. I'd like you to take note of the officer's right hand and where it is throughout the stop. If this officer is right hand out and his firearm is on his right side, the shooter that I know and that I train can easily draw their firearm because the officer is able to remove his firearm from either a double or triple holster. That's why this is incredibly dangerous and unintentional harm can make an officer react in a way that we don't want to see. I'm not saying I'm going to disagree with you. Maybe we should. Well, that's fine. Once I get this done, we'll move on to the rest of the stuff. You don't get to decide how to. I'm all about restricting you, trying to work with you. We're not.
was asking you to do something, and you were refusing. I was giving you a lawful order. You were refusing to obey that. For personal feelings, I understand that. You did not prefer it that way. But there's
This would sell fast. Could use some extra cash. Sellers can list as many items as they want with 0 fees. Make items new again. Download Vinted and start selling today.
Reliant's one of the best in finding leaks on your water lines. You have all the necessary equipment to pinpoint where the leak is and then make the repair afterwards. We'll see what we can find. So behind me, we've got an air compressor.
There's times where I need traffic stop or interaction with police. You have to send your personal opinion or feelings aside as you will be allowed to Correct. After I told you, we're going to stop this on the way to the chief. We'll go from there. I'm going to put it on the dash now. You need to not reach for it. I'm going to put it on that side. Actually, I'm going to hold it here.
This is also incredibly dangerous. Disarming a person, necessarily non-compliant person or a Navy person, because a lot of times they have faulty ammo, their firearms are loaded improperly, and you do not want the firearm to discharge while you're doing it. The other thing is your position has to be this function because it's critical. It's the firearm. This is
Cocofanto elefanto.
Missy, bitch.
Five shots this time. Come here, mean missile puncher. Only $49.99. It's very talented. Okay, where's your identification? So pilot fire and sex man, jet fire, I asked her for one fire that I'm at it or no, so we can record. And when I asked her, and take it back 5 people, listen to her, the rest of the staff. She was mildly argumentative. She refused to do that. We didn't come to a compromise. She let me take it off her and upload it. So it's been a bit of a conversation. I asked her for a license multiple times. She said she wouldn't give it until you got here, so that's the rest. Can I have your license? Okay, can I have your license, please?
As I told you before I relinquish my information, I'm going to go over this paper. Okay? So, as my driver's license, she wants to know if it's better to travel on public highways and transport property thereon by horse-drawn carriage, wagon, or automobile. It's not a fair privilege which may be permitted or prohibited at will, but a common right which she has to exercise its life, liberty, in the pursuit of happiness, not only in his person, but in his safe conduct. And I can give you word on that if you would like.
U.S. Supreme Court attorneys watch that. So,
No, the U.S. Supreme Court has not.
yes, you have. You have the right to travel. You have the right to travel by here. Of course, you have to have a driver's license.
Okay, I've saved stacks of paperwork like this. They literally just print them right off of the internet. And there are so many different groups on social media that share this kind of information, and people get confused by it. Traffic law, solving stuff doesn't mix.
We can argue this later. So you need to provide the officer with your driver's license.
For what kind?
Tell me your driver's license. It's in the see this meeting. Do you have a license with you?
No,
Do you have insurance for the vehicle?
it's not retired.
Whether you feel it's required or not, do you have insurance information? Yes or no? Okay. Do you have registration information? Whether it's required in your opinion or not?
I don't know if it's that required.
Okay, so you just don't know. Okay, that's fine. I'll be back. You get it back. Yes, okay. I'm just putting this back. What a violation. I've never known before. Okay, this guy's taking the testing for your walking session with fire. Yeah, anyway.
Absolutely charge you for every necessary. Get it. That's why here, everything's in policing, responding to a disturbance or theft call at a convenience store is very common. It's almost a daily occurrence. However, rarely does it escalate to a point where a person is accused of stealing a beer. The officer gets into a scuffle with the suspect with another officer there. One officer loses their taser, and then one officer discharges their firearm against the back of the head of the suspect. This is one of those. I can already tell you by looking at this officer, the way that he just did this, that he's extraordinarily tactical. I see that he called out the plate of the vehicle, location, and as you can look here, how he canted his wheel to the side. That protects your visual would occur, and if you're caught it's hit from behind, textbook process. Okay, what's the deal with the people inside? You see the officer, you can say he's back, he's behind, he's not directly inside because we have a third occupant. The vehicle is occupied 3 times, which is something that's very high level, even if the report is a misdemeanor. So you went inside with her? Hey, can I get your ID for a second? What's your name? Pete? If a person gives their name and the police asks, and you say your name is Pete, most people aren't named Pete. I know there are some, but most people are named Peter. So that is a red flag for officers. I know people in the comment and say, oh, my name's Pete. I get it, but most people, it's the full name, and that's what you
Lucky
police.
He's in the wrong. That's what I'm trying to figure out, okay?
Fluorid. Svinina bombard tata tata sahu. Liri lari. Boneca ambala. Trippi trop. Gorillo watermelon. Borbaloni luli loli. Lucky block. Svinina bombardino. Gangster fute. Fluri flura. Nubini pizza ni.
Lucky block. It tells a lot about this officer from a tactical perspective. This is New Mexico in July. It's definitely hot. You see officers in certain departments that will get inside of their car, inside the air conditioning to conduct this business. This officer, for a safety reason, has chosen to ignore the heat and stand outside for his own safety because the car can be a death trap. You have 3 occupants inside that could potentially be insane people. The information that he gave does not match. There's an issue, and the suspect likely knows it as well. I've dealt with this, and I've had this happen many times. The suspect is going to know that you got
Oh, din 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 dun.
Or do you have an idea of Pete? Dedicate spell your lives and get for me, Pete. E-S. I'm Connecticut, right?
2 things that I'd like to mention that are just theories a lot. You see that passenger who's stealing beer has money in his hand, which could be that he was paid for this. He just go inside and get cigarettes because maybe he's like, this might go south and I don't want to be in the car. Just a theory, not know for sure.
100%. Yeah. As soon as he gets here, I'll go inside and get this all squared out, alright?
Oh, din 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 dun.
The officer will be back once maintain his visual in the car. You hear me say this. Why do we turn our backs? There's no reason for us to turn our backs. If we do, we want to make sure we maintain a visual. He's doing a great job with this.
Trippi troppi troppa trippa.
You see me say it in my videos. They don't need to look at each other and talk. Look at who the suspect is because obviously right now he's giving false info. Letting it land too far. I like what I see.
I think the first listen up. Okay, I'm not asking you right now. Because you're not going to because you're not going back because it's not coming back while you're going to okay.
Hey, step out.
Cocofanto elefanto.
I'm not detained here. Stop. Stop. Hey, stay in the car.
And here is where I have my issue. The decision to go hands-on as opposed to calling them out of the car one by one.
Okay, I'm not asking you right now. No. Hey, you're not going back up out. Hey, step out of the car. You're not going back up out. You can't figure out who you are to feel it out. Hey, listen.
I want you to take a look at this tattoo of the officer, which looks like a devil face. I just want to let you know, as an officer who's been in shootings, every tattoo that you have will be scrutinized, and you will likely have to answer questions about the tattoos that you have.
Hey, you gonna cooperate or what? Okay. Knock yourself out. If that's something. No. I don't want to leave you for anything. Hey, step out.
Stop. Look at where the rear suspect is, and the person that they're dealing with has not been patted down, and he's doing a whole lot of reaching. This is super dangerous. No one's been checked, and you have a non-compliant subject.
Stop. Turn around. Stop it. Listen, stop. Stop it. Stop it.
So here's where the situation becomes incredibly challenging. Now it's going to felony type car stop interactions with the subjects that are inside the car, but they didn't do anything. The person that you had the issue with is now deceased on the floor. Why didn't we just call them out of the car from the beginning instead of getting into this engagement at the vehicle, so you don't get into this fight with the non-compliant subject?
Driver, step out with your hands up. Open the door from the outside.
So now the other officers arrived, and now they're doing the felony car stop, calling the subjects back to their vehicle.
Back line passenger! Step out with your hands up! Keep walking towards you, pick your hands up! Pick your hands up, walk slowly. Put your hands in the air! Keep walking! Keep walking! Keep walking! Keep walking! Keep walking! Stop right there!
Take note of where the taser is in the subject that's on the ground. That is deceased.
Can you hear me? A little bit, yeah. Did you shoot? Yeah.
You can start setting up in your
All right, let's go ahead and go over to my unit. How many shots were fired, bro? Just one. Anybody outstanding? No, we've got the few that were inside the vehicle. We got passenger out.
So here's the situation. So that's the officer that discharged his firearm. The reason obviously he's saying that he can't hear is because normally you have ear protection on when you discharge your firearm, but when you don't have ear protection, it's very difficult to hear. The other thing is, you notice that the other officer asked a few questions of him, and he said, you don't have to tell me anything. So after the shooting, what's done by policy is the police give a public safety statement, and they ask the officer involved in the shooting some questions to ensure that there were no errant rounds or no one else is injured, so that you don't say anything that you could potentially incriminate yourself and be used in court. They ask for that public safety statement.
Yeah. Right up. Whatever, step right up. Yeah, that should show some straws, post.
Officer, Michigan, Japanese 14 facility, engineer here, so you guys know this one. You think so? It's going to be putting it back to the panel on these.
So those photographs are taken after an officer is involved in the shooting to see if there are any injuries, to see if there's anything on the officer's body that could be viewed as evidence. And you notice that this officer is really chomping down on his gum, and that could just be a way that he's getting out some of that anxiety or whatever he's going through, because that's something personally he has to deal with. But from an optics perspective, what do you think that that's going to look like to someone who wants to try to fry the officer after he just someone in the back of the head?
Did you guys see what happened? I saw it. I saw it. You saw everything. Did you see anything? I saw the guy on the floor, like on top of the box.
So this is incredibly traumatic for these witnesses. I mean, no one goes to work thinking they're going to witness someone being on the back of the head. From an investigative perspective, you want to get everyone separated, get their statements separate.
Were you a little more composed? You were going to tell me what you saw?
Yes, I was.
Now it's time for our favorite segment. Which subscriptions went up this year? Let's start.
I was watching the officer. I don't know who the officer who was up on the back of the first one behind this start. Okay. And I was watching him, and I told my coworker, I said, he's backing up. What's going on? He's and that's why we have the people in the back. And so the other dude showed up right behind me. And they were close to the subject. And subject started fighting with the two officers. And also, the back said that sit them down. Especially like I don't know if it was supposed to go to the officer's gun or he had a cell phone. For the initial officer, yes, subject was on top of the officer. Yes. And the other officer, I don't know if it was supposed to the other officer's gun that he had a cell phone or what, but he just, the other officer was and he just shot him and already. That's the officer behind him. Yes. So there was the officer on the ground, and then he was the second officer on the ground, the house, and the other officer was out. He had to share this question on the detail of she saw and she walked the hall. She came in, took my cigarettes, and told my name was Timmy, in an hour. He walked out, I don't know what he did. I saw him walk up to the car, called another guy, the other guy came in. Same thing. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't do it. Purchase. No issues. He walked out. But a while after, another guy comes in. I saw him going around with a pile of it. Eventually, he came out this way. Same thing. Called him. And purchase. And then after a while, I just walk along one line. Saw him open. That's for me. I don't think something was it. I do not know exactly what this subject did to get the officer to feel that he was acting the way that he was acting, but the officer has to ask himself, and me as a sergeant, I would say this is necessary, and this is really important because all of these factors are going to be taken into consideration as this incident gets viewed.
So I told him, I'm not asking you to get out, you need to get out. He's still kind of pulling back, holding his arms against his body. So I grabbed his right arm and told him to step out. He's asking why. Now I'm telling him why. You're not coming back on file at all. I'm not getting repellent. And he keeps asking why, and he's not complying. I'm sharp gas. Well, are you gonna comply? He says, yeah, I'm gonna comply, but he's not doing it.
Okay, as the officer sits down with investigators to tell his part of the story, there's something that I'd like you to know. Police force is governed by the severity of crime. Was the subject actively resisting, and was the person a threat to officer or others? The other thing is that it must be objectively reasonable.
So we're trying to maintain control of the suspect, and like I said, due to his size, it was not possible for us to do his arm room toward the top of the SUV on points where I can reach him. I grab onto his belt control because that was the only thing available. So sharp gas, he wraps his arms around the suspect's waist. So I guess the best way to describe it is off sharp gas does basically a suplex where he falls back with the suspect. Off sharp gas hits his head on the ground. Now suspect lands on top of sharp gas. And the suspect kind of rolls a bit of all from the momentum of being thrown back. So all his weight is on top of sharp gas. So after they fall to the ground, I can see him from where I'm at, standing behind. standing behind most of them, that he's now looking at Officer Arbogast's duty belt. He first reaches down to the gun side of his belt, and he can't get anything from there, so he keeps that we're trying to fight to control him. He's still looking down on his belt. He sees the taser. I can see out of the corner of his eye how he's looking at it. He sees the taser handle. Obviously, it's bright yellow, so you can see it fairly easy. And it's on the opposite side of his gun, so the taser handle is out towards the suspect. So he tries to take it once, and he's not able to. And then the second time he tries to take it, he ends up taking the taser. I say taser once.
The taser is using a cross-draw motion so that an officer doesn't mistakenly go for their firearm from the motion of drawing a firearm-like type weapon, and it doesn't have the same retention that a firearm does, because firearms nowadays, most officers have what's called triple retention holsters, which requires some degree of manipulation to get it out. It's very difficult to pull a firearm out with a triple retention holster.
He tries to take it once, and he's not able to. And then the second time he tries to take it, he ends up taking the taser. I say taser once as he pulls the taser from Officer Arbogast's holster, and he's holding it up. And at that point, it wasn't a struggle to try to detain him. It was a struggle for Officer Arbogast's life and my life at that point. So I ended up taking my duty weapon out. I put it to the back of his head. The suspect's still cognizant of where Officer Arbogast was, because I was concerned for his safety. So I ended up placing it directly to the back of his head, downward and to the right, to avoid shooting Officer Arbogast in the process. I fired one round into the back of his head. The suspect falls on top of Officer Arbogast. I yell out, "Took your taser."
So, the New Mexico Attorney General's office ruled that this shooting was not justified. The officer was convicted of voluntary manslaughter. His conviction was overturned, and he is now hearing a new trial. And you can follow that new trial because it's supposed to occur very soon at the time of this recording. A couple of things I'd like to say because it's incredibly sensitive. I do not make an assessment of whether a shooting is good or bad by watching segments of body cam videos. I will tell you tactics that I see on the body cam or tactics that could have potentially made this situation.
Every time I crash, my cruise ship car gets bigger. And so I'm running from the cops right now because I just went to the store for $100,000. And, steering wheel, how about you steer on the right side of the road, Goofy? I owe a captain, the Carnival Cruise captain, $2 million. About to give him that money, or he's going to do some bad thing. I don't know what it is yet. He was telling me it was going to recall some Oh, yeah, I am on the radio. What's up, man?
I'm still waiting on my $2 million that you owe me, or else I will throw you a thread overboard on the ship with this terrified we look back.
That is there's no need. Why would you do that to my best friend?
$2 million to what the money.
You're right, $2 million is a lot of money. All right. I just got $100,000 from the store. I'll find something better with more money, all right? Don't worry, I'll handle it.
All right, just do it quick.
Okay, I'll go fast. Don't you worry. Oh, man, they're still behind me. Oh, nice one. You can't park there. Goofy.
Parking, I hit a car.
Oh, maybe I can hide from the cops. What's the point of that? Maybe a break here. Maybe. Ow. I have an idea. I know I'm going to lose the cops, so they have no idea that this actually works in water. So, okay. We're going to say, okay, look at it. Hey, maybe you guys should get boats next time. Maybe you should be prepared. Yeah, better luck next time. Alright, so I need a lot more money because I need $1.95 million. I'm way behind right now. So here's the Amazon warehouse. So they're transporting a bunch of money. Give me all the money, come on! Where are you at, security?
Where you at?
I'm right here. Blue shirt. You know what? I have a grenade. Toss a grenade. Hey, you might want to watch out.
What grenade?
No, come on, I need the money. Give me all the money. Where are you at? No, please don't go to the cops. Break it. Oh my gosh, I just wiped out the entire Amazon warehouse.
Get
my car, get my car. Go. Okay, I'm out of here. See you later. Hey, see you later. Goofy. Oh, crap. Okay, what if I just act like I'm fueling up my car right here? Hey, how's it going?
Explosions and gunshots at the Amazon warehouse?
Oh, yeah, there was explosions and gunshots at the Amazon warehouse.
They said some guy in a blue, like a terrible
I do kind of fit that description. Oh,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
wait, you're not ready to go? Yes, I am. Oh, what the freak? What the freak bomb is this? Oh, crap. Huh? Oh, crap. Open. This is embarrassing. Yeah. Get me, I dare you. Goofies. Okay, I gotta think of an escape plan here. Alright, that's all I have to do with you. Oh, I have a ramp. And if you've been watching these videos, you know what it means if I have a ramp. Oh, so sad. That means, because whenever I use my ramp, it doesn't count. Hey, you better watch out. Buddy. You better watch out. Oh. I mean, that felt good, huh? Okay, I'm trying to lose him. Let's go. I have an idea. I'm going to call my friend Stupid. I'm not calling him Stupid. His name is actually Stupid. From Escape Plan. Yeah. Hey, Stupid. Hey,